Hi there, I'm Leo Duarte, Principal Oboe of the Old Street Band, English Touring Opera's Period Instrument Orchestra. This season, in a first for the company, we prepared not only a Baroque opera using Baroque instruments, but also one of Mozart's operas using a later set of instruments which we call classical instruments. Many people aren't aware just how much instrument design changed between Handel's day and Mozart's, but even fewer people actually understand what happened to the pitch of instruments over this time. Today, we define pitch as the amount of vibrations per second within the note A. Here in the UK, we have adopted a nice round 440 Hz as our chosen standard. Indeed, this was set as the international standard in 1939, though today the pitch of many orchestras has risen to 442 Hz or even higher. The history of performing pitch is long and has many interesting twists and turns. So many and so interesting, in fact, that someone has taken the trouble to write a rather substantial book about it. It's called A History of Performing Pitch, The Story of A. It's a real page-turner, and you'll learn more about Renaissance organs than you ever wanted to know. It was written by the late Bruce Haynes, a serious scholar and a seriously good Baroque oboist. So if you want to learn more, then I heartily recommend reading it. Now, where was I? Oh yes, oboes. So I have 3 oboes. 1 Baroque, 1 classical, and 1 modern. Let's see what happens if I play an A on each of them. That's right, the pitch rises as the instruments become more modern. Of course, that's a gross generalisation of what actually happened to pitch over the centuries. There were, in fact, times, places and situations where pitches were considerably higher than our modern 440 Hz. Sometimes there were even a few different pitches in the same time at the same place. Take Mozart's Vienna, for example. He would have had a Kammerton or chamber pitch of around 430 Hz, and also a pitch called Wiener Ton or Viennese pitch, which was up closer to 438 Hz, depending on whether he was playing in the church or the opera house. Having said all of that, of the 3 oboes I have here, it is true that the oldest is the lowest. The operas of Handel were originally performed at a pitch at least a semitone lower than modern pitch, if not slightly more. In the year 1711, when Handel first started writing operas for London, pitch was around 403 Hz. Though today, period instrument orchestras tend to play his music a little higher at 415 Hz, exactly a semitone lower than modern pitch. Mozart's operatic pitch falls in between these two. While it seems that his operas were most likely performed at Viennese pitch, 438 Hz, these days we tend to play his music down at chamber pitch of 430 Hz. That said, some orchestras are beginning to experiment with these more subtle pitches. Why does any of this matter, you might ask? Well, apart from the subtle differences in instrumental colour which pitch can affect, of all musicians, pitch probably affects singers the most. They can't simply tighten a screw or change their instrument to change the pitch. So by playing the music at the pitch that the composer had in mind, we can make life easier for modern singers who have the same vocal ranges as those who the composers originally wrote their music for.